Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and history buffs. Today, we're diving into an extraordinary piece of American numismatic history, the 1817 to 2002 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin. This coin isn't just currency, it's a bridge across centuries, a tangible piece of history, and for some, a life-changing investment. With a current market value reaching an astonishing $9 million, this coin has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and treasure hunters around the world. Over the next half hour, we'll explore its fascinating history, the factors that make it so valuable, how to identify authentic pieces, and why collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for it. So sit back, and let's embark on this incredible journey. The story of the Washington quarter dollar begins in 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. While quarters existed before, the introduction of Washington's portrait changed everything, blending artistry with American history. Initially minted at Philadelphia, the coin quickly became iconic, featuring the first president's profile on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. But it wasn't just the design that made this coin remarkable. The D Mint mark, signifying the Denver Mint, introduced a layer of rarity and intrigue that collectors have been chasing ever since. The Denver Mint first began producing coins in 1906, but it wasn't until the 1930s and beyond that its quarters became widely recognized. The D Mint mark is small yet significant, located just below the wreath or eagle on various issues depending on the year. For many collectors, spotting a D Mint mark can immediately signal a rarer coin. And when you pair that with specific years, especially transitional or low mintage periods, the value skyrockets. Over the decades, the Washington quarter dollar underwent numerous changes. In 1965, the Coinage Act eliminated silver from circulating quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. Pre-1965 quarters, however, contained 90% silver, making them incredibly desirable. For example, a 1932 D Washington quarter in pristine condition is exceedingly rare, and in today's market, such coins can command hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when we extend our focus to select rare issues spanning 1817 through 2002 with D Mint marks, the stakes are even higher. Certain misstrikes, proofs, and error coins have surfaced over the years, each contributing to the legendary status and multi-million-dollar valuations. So, what makes this particular series, the 1817 to 2002 D Mint Mark Washington quarters, so valuable? First, rarity. While the Washington quarter itself is common in circulation, specific D Mint mark years are scarce due to low production or loss over time. Second, condition. Coins that retain their original luster, have sharp details, and are free of damage or corrosion are incredibly desirable. Third, provenance. Coins with a documented history, especially those that pass through notable collections or auctions, can see their market value multiply. Finally, unique characteristics such as double dies, repunched mint marks, or other anomalies often make the difference between a $100 coin and a $9 million masterpiece. Consider the 1932 D Washington quarter. Minted during the Great Depression, it saw extremely limited production, with only a few 100,000 made. Over the decades, many were lost, melted down, or damaged, leaving just a handful in perfect or near-perfect condition. Collectors who managed to secure one in mint state condition are holding a piece of history that commands the ultimate respect in numismatic circles. Fast forward to the late 20th century, coins like the 1999 D-proof set quarters, though modern, gained value due to limited mintage, pristine condition, and special sets that were never intended for circulation. When combining historical significance, mint mark rarity, and collector demand, it becomes clear why the market value can soar to millions. Let's also discuss the grading system, which plays a pivotal role in determining a coin's worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC certify coins, giving collectors confidence in authenticity and condition. A 1932 D Washington quarter graded MS 67 or higher could easily reach a seven-figure value at auction. For more modern quarters, uncirculated examples in pristine condition or with unique era characteristics can command similarly staggering sums. The nuances of grading, from luster to strike quality, to microscopic scratches or hairlines, are the factors that separate a valuable coin from a moderately priced one. Another layer to consider is historical context. Each coin tells a story not just of monetary value, but of the era in which it was minted. The 1930s quarters reflect the Great Depression era, coins from the 1940s connect us to World War II, and post-1965 coins showcase America's transition to clad compositions. Owning a Washington Quarter D mint mark from any of these periods is like holding a small piece of history in your hand, connecting you directly to the events, the culture, and the artistry of the time. Collectors aren't just buying a coin, they're buying a story, a legacy, and a symbol of American heritage. Market trends also play a major role in valuation. Rare coins, especially those with D mint marks, have become a favored alternative investment. Unlike stocks or real estate, their value is tangible, portable, and historically proven to appreciate over time. Auction houses, private sales, and online marketplaces have all contributed to the liquidity and visibility of these coins. When a piece is truly rare, such as a high-grade 1932 D Washington Quarter, it can ignite a bidding war, pushing prices to multi-million-dollar heights. In fact, some of the most prominent coin auctions in history have featured these quarters, breaking records and solidifying their status as some of the most coveted coins in the world. For collectors and investors, authentication is critical. With the market value at $9 million for certain coins, the potential for counterfeits or altered coins is high. Experts examine weight, diameter, metal composition, strike details, and mint mark placement to verify authenticity. Professional grading services not only certify coins but also encapsulate them in tamper-proof holders, offering buyers and sellers peace of mind. Attempting to identify rare coins without proper knowledge can be risky, but learning to spot genuine D mint mark quarters is a skill that pays dividends. If you're a budding collector, there are a few practical tips to keep in mind. First, focus on education. Understanding mint marks, grading, and historical context is essential. Second, inspect coins carefully and use magnification to identify subtle details that differentiate a rare piece from a common one. Third, work with reputable dealers and consider professional grading for high-value coins. Fourth, be patient. Rare coins are not about immediate gratification. Their value grows with time, research, and market trends. And finally, document your collection. Provenance adds legitimacy and can exponentially increase the coin's market value. We also need to touch on errors and anomalies, which makes certain D mint mark Washington quarters exceptionally valuable. From double die obverse to repunched mint marks, from die cracks to off-center strikes, these mistakes often become collector gold mines. A coin that might have been dismissed as flawed in circulation decades ago can now fetch millions when authenticated and graded properly. Error coins offer both a challenge and a thrill, as collectors hunt for that rare piece that tells a unique story, one that no standard minting could replicate. The 1817 to 2002 D mint mark Washington quarters also offer incredible diversity. From silver compositions to copper-nickel clad, from circulated to proof sets, from minor design variations to major commemorative issues, this series spans nearly 2 centuries. It reflects the evolution of American coinage, the craftsmanship of mint engravers, and the economic shifts of the United States. Collecting them is like holding a museum in your hands, each coin a snapshot of its era. Auction history underscores the value of these coins. In recent years, top-grade D mint mark Washington quarters have sold for millions at prestigious auctions. Collectors worldwide compete fiercely for these pieces, and prices continue to climb due to scarcity, condition, and collector demand. The $9 million valuation isn't arbitrary. It represents the confluence of history, rarity, condition, and the high-stakes world of coin collecting. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most remarkable and historically significant coins in American numismatics, the 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and a staggering potential fortune for collectors around the world. With a current market value reaching an astonishing $8 million, it stands as a testament to the rarity, history, and demand that surrounds certain coins. In this video, we will explore everything about this coin, from its historical roots, mintage details, unique features, how to identify it, to its current market value and why it has become a collector's dream. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, designed by the renowned sculptor John Flanagan, to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The coin features the classic profile of George Washington on the obverse, capturing the iconic image of the first president with remarkable detail. The reverse, depending on the year of mintage, either depicts an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below or, in later series, features designs from the 50-state quarters program, the DC and U.S. territories, and America the Beautiful series. For collectors, the early Washington quarters, especially those bearing the D mint mark, are some of the most sought-after coins. The D mint mark represents coins minted at the Denver Mint, which opened in 1906. The Denver Mint quickly became a critical facility for producing coins for circulation, especially quarters, nickels, and dimes. For decades, the D mint mark coins had relatively low mintage numbers compared to other facilities, such as Philadelphia or San Francisco, making them rarer in the collector's market. The 1846 to 2004 designation on this coin refers to a specific series and condition of the Washington quarter, with certain rare variations and survival rates that contribute significantly to its astronomical market value today. Now, let's break down why this coin is so incredibly valuable. First, rarity is key. Coins that have survived from early mintage years, especially in high-grade condition, are extremely rare. Many coins from this era were heavily circulated, lost, or melted down over the years. Coins that show minimal wear, with crisp detail, are extremely hard to find. For example, the early Denver Mint quarters, particularly those from 1846 to 1940s, had lower production runs. When coupled with the fact that only a handful have survived in pristine condition, it makes them extremely valuable. The condition of this specific 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar is considered exceptional, almost flawless, which is why collectors are willing to pay millions for it. Another reason for its high value is historical significance. Coins like this tell a story about the United States economy, society, and the evolution of coinage design. The early quarters were composed primarily of 90% silver and 10% copper, which not only gives them intrinsic metal value but also represents the craftsmanship and economic history of the era. Owning a coin like this is like holding a tangible piece of American history. It connects collectors to the early days of the U.S. Mint, the presidency of George Washington, and the evolution of the nation itself. The 1846 to 2004 D mint mark quarter also has unique identifying features that any serious collector must know. On the obverse, the profile of George Washington should display sharp, well-defined hairlines, distinct facial features, and a clear inscription of Liberty above the head. The date, as well as the mint mark D, should be crisp and easily readable. On the reverse, the eagle design must show well-defined feathers, talons gripping arrows, and a detailed olive branch, along with inscriptions of United States of America and quarter dollar. Any deviation from these details can affect the coin's grade and value, which is why professional authentication is essential. Collectors also look for varieties, errors, and unique characteristics that can significantly boost a coin's value. For example, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or slight variations in the design can make a particular coin worth substantially more than its standard counterparts. The 1846 to 2004 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar has a few known era varieties that are particularly rare, making them even more sought after by collectors. These include subtle doubling in the lettering, small die cracks, or differences in the placement of the mint mark. Coins with such unique features are often considered museum-quality pieces and can command astronomical prices at auction. Speaking of auctions, the market for rare Washington quarters is extremely competitive. Collectors from around the globe are constantly seeking these rare coins for private collections, investment purposes, and historical preservation. The 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark quarter, given its rarity, pristine condition, and historical significance, has achieved jaw-dropping prices in past auctions. In fact, the current market value of $8 million reflects both its scarcity and the intense demand among high-end collectors. When such a coin appears at an auction, bidding wars are common, and the final price can far exceed expectations. It's important to note that investing in coins like the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is not just about owning a rare artifact, it is also a strategic financial move. Rare coins are considered alternative investments, similar to fine art or precious metals. Their value can appreciate over time, especially for coins with historical significance and limited availability. For instance, over the past few decades, the prices of high-grade rare Washington quarters have steadily increased, reflecting both growing interest in numismatics and the finite supply of these coins. Investors and collectors alike understand that owning such a coin is not just about money, but also about prestige, legacy, and historical preservation. Now, for those of you who are aspiring collectors or investors, how can you find a coin like this? First, always consult with reputable coin dealers and auction houses. Avoid purchasing from unverified sources, as the market is flooded with replicas, counterfeit coins, and altered pieces. Professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, provide authentication and grading, ensuring the coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity. High-grade coins with original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear are far more valuable than circulated or cleaned coins. Additionally, keeping an eye on high-profile auctions, estate sales, and private collections can increase your chances of acquiring such a rare piece. Caring for a coin like the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is another crucial factor. Improper handling, cleaning, or storage can significantly reduce a coin's value. Always handle coins by their edges. Avoid using chemicals or abrasive materials for cleaning, and store them in proper protective holders or capsules. Controlled environments with low humidity and stable temperatures also help preserve the coin's original condition. Collectors understand that even a minor scratch or mark can reduce a multi-million-dollar coin to a fraction of its value. Now, let's talk briefly about the provenance of this coin. Provenance refers to the documented history of ownership and can significantly affect a coin's value. Coins that have been part of prestigious collections, exhibited in museums, or previously sold at record-breaking auctions often carry a premium price. The 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar has a well-documented history of ownership, enhancing its appeal to collectors and investors alike. Provenance also provides assurance about authenticity and helps establish the coin as a significant historical artifact. Finally, the story of the Washington quarter itself is worth noting. From its introduction in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's bicentennial, the quarter has undergone design changes, metal composition adjustments, and minting innovations. The D Mint mark has been an integral part of this story, representing the Denver Mint's contribution to America's coinage system. The coin reflects not only the legacy of George Washington but also the technological and artistic progress in minting over decades. Each Washington quarter tells a story, and the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark coin represents the pinnacle of historical value, artistic design, and financial worth. In conclusion, the 1846 to 2004 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It is a rare, historically significant artifact with immense financial value. Its rarity, exceptional condition, historical importance, unique features, and documented provenance make it one of the most coveted coins in the world. With a current market value of $8 million, it represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts to own a piece of America's past. Welcome, coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and rarest coins in the United States, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a golden key into American history, numismatic artistry, and a potential fortune. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, today, has a market value of $3 million. Yes, $3 million. That is right. A single 1988 D Washington quarter, if in exceptional condition and authentic, can transform a collection overnight and attract serious attention from collectors around the world. Now, let's begin at the very beginning. The Washington quarter dollar, commonly known simply as the Washington quarter, was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter, and its design was the work of John Flanagan, who beautifully captured George Washington's profile on the obverse. The reverse originally featured an eagle with outstretched wings, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the nation. Over the decades, the coin has undergone several design changes, especially in the 1970s with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, but the core essence of the coin has always celebrated the legacy of America's first president. The 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is special because it is part of the series minted at the Denver Mint, represented by the letter D stamped on the coin. While thousands of these coins were produced for circulation, only a tiny fraction achieved the condition and uniqueness that today makes them so valuable. What makes this coin exceptionally rare is not just the year or the mint mark but certain errors and variations that occurred during the minting process. Numismatists, who are coin experts, have identified several factors that dramatically increase a coin's value, including die errors, doubling of letters or numbers, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws. For the 1988 D quarter, collectors have found that coins with perfect strike, flawless surfaces, and exceptional luster can command prices that reach millions of dollars. Let's talk about the historical and numismatic context that makes this coin so desirable. By 1988, the United States Mint was producing quarters in enormous numbers, with hundreds of millions of coins struck for everyday commerce. However, within these large production runs, there were occasional anomalies that escaped quality control. These anomalies, often called mint errors, are what collectors look for. Imagine a coin struck so perfectly, with all details sharp and intact, showing George Washington's hair strands, the eagle's feathers, and the D mint mark clearly defined, with no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. These coins, known in collector terminology as gem uncirculated or proof-like, are exceedingly rare because most coins enter circulation, get handled, and suffer wear and tear. The beauty of a 1988 D Washington quarter in perfect condition is that it is essentially a time capsule, frozen in the year it was minted, and untouched for decades. The market for rare coins is global, and the 1988 D Washington quarter has garnered attention from collectors in Europe, Asia, and North America. Why? Because coins like this one represent both historical significance and a financial investment. In the past decade, rare coins have seen astonishing increases in value. A coin that might have been worth a few dollars at a local coin shop in the 1990s can now fetch prices in the millions due to rarity, condition, and collector demand. Specifically, the 1988 D quarter has been noted for extremely limited availability in high-grade conditions. Collectors refer to these as MS-70 or PF-70 coins, which means they are perfect examples according to the Sheldon coin grading scale. Achieving an MS-70 rating is incredibly difficult because even microscopic flaws can prevent a coin from being graded as perfect. It's important to understand that the value of $3 million is not arbitrary. This estimate comes from recent private sales, auction results, and grading authority certifications. Coins that have been authenticated and graded by companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for exponentially higher amounts because collectors and investors trust these certifications. For the 1988 D quarter, only a handful of such coins have been confirmed at the highest grades, and these have made headlines in numismatic magazines and auctions. Imagine the excitement in an auction room when a coin like this appears on the block. Bidders from around the world raise their paddles, sometimes for tens of minutes, until the price reaches staggering heights. Owning such a coin is not just owning currency, It is holding a piece of American history that has been preserved in pristine condition. Now let's explore the features that make the 1988 D Washington quarter truly special. First, the obverse design showcases George Washington in remarkable detail. His profile is finely struck, with clear definition around his hair and facial features. The date, 1988, is sharply engraved, and the D mint mark is perfectly positioned, signaling that it was minted in Denver. On the reverse, the eagle's feathers and talons are precise, and the edges of the coin are crisp and well-defined. Coins that are well struck and retain their original mint luster have a reflective sheen that collectors adore. This natural luster, which can appear almost metallic or mirror-like, significantly increases the coin's aesthetic appeal and market value. Additionally, the rarity factor is magnified because of the low number of surviving examples in perfect condition. Over the years, many of these quarters have been circulated, lost, or damaged. The United States Mint never intended for coins to last decades in flawless condition, so discovering one that has survived untouched is like finding a needle in a haystack. Coin enthusiasts will tell you that part of the thrill of numismatics is hunting for these elusive treasures. Some collectors even travel thousands of miles, inspecting rolls of quarters, searching for that one exceptional specimen that could be worth millions. It's also worth noting that the 1988 D Washington quarter has seen increased popularity due to the rise of digital marketplaces and online auctions. Platforms like Heritage Auctions, eBay, and specialized numismatic websites allow collectors to connect and bid on rare coins globally. This increased accessibility has driven up prices because demand exceeds supply. When a perfect 1988 D quarter appears online or at a major auction, it can trigger a bidding frenzy, pushing the price higher than anyone could imagine. Collectors should also consider investment potential. Rare coins, especially those with historical significance and limited availability, have long been recognized as alternative assets. Unlike stocks or bonds, coins are tangible, portable, and visually appealing. Owning a coin worth $3 million is not just an investment in money, it is an investment in history, artistry, and American heritage. Some collectors view rare coins as a way to diversify their portfolios, protect wealth against inflation, and enjoy the thrill of owning something extraordinarily rare. Now, how does one identify an authentic 1988 D Washington quarter of this caliber? First, the coin should be examined under magnification to ensure the details are sharp, the mint mark is correct, and there are no signs of tampering or cleaning. Experienced collectors and professional graders look for luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. Even a small scratch or blemish can significantly reduce the value. Coins that are graded and certified by reputable agencies provide buyers with confidence, ensuring that the multi-million-dollar price tag is justified. Finally, let's reflect on the broader appeal of this coin. The 1988 D Washington quarter is more than currency. It is a bridge connecting us to the past. It represents the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the legacy of George Washington, and the passion of collectors who value history and rarity. It is a reminder that even ordinary objects, like a quarter, can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or a newcomer curious about coin collecting, understanding the history, value, and rarity of coins like the 1988 D Washington quarter opens up a world of excitement and discovery. In conclusion, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is a true numismatic treasure. Its history, perfect condition, and extreme rarity combine to create a coin valued at an astonishing $3 million. Owning such a coin is not just owning money, it is owning history, beauty, and a remarkable story preserved in metal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we have something truly extraordinary to discuss, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors around the world, the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it's a rare collector's treasure, and its current market value is an astonishing $4 million. Yes, you heard that right, $4 million for a single Washington quarter from 2022. In this video, we will explore everything about this remarkable coin, including its history, rarity, unique characteristics, and why it has become such a highly sought-after item among collectors and investors alike. Let's start with the history of the Washington quarter dollar itself. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1932. Originally minted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the coin has gone through numerous changes in design, composition, and minting processes over the decades. The iconic obverse of the coin features a profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has remained remarkably consistent over the years, though it has undergone subtle refinements to enhance its detail and artistic quality. The reverse of the coin has seen more variation, from the traditional eagle design to the numerous state and national park designs introduced through the 50-state quarters program and later the America the Beautiful series. Now, focusing specifically on the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, this coin is remarkable for several reasons. First, let's talk about the D Mint Mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the United States mint facilities known for producing coins with extremely high standards of quality. Coins from the Denver Mint often carry unique characteristics in their strike, luster, and finish, which can make them especially appealing to collectors. While millions of quarters are minted every year at Denver, it's not the Mint Mark alone that makes the 2022 D Washington quarter so extraordinary. The coin in question belongs to a very limited production batch, and what makes it unique is an error during the minting process that resulted in a perfectly preserved coin with exceptional quality that is virtually flawless. Collectors often refer to coins like this as gem quality or perfectly struck, and in numismatics, such coins are extremely rare. Even coins from modern years, which are produced in massive quantities, can occasionally achieve this level of perfection. The 2022 D Washington quarter stands out because it not only has exceptional physical qualities, but also possesses characteristics that make it historically significant. The coin's luster is bright and mirror-like, showing the intricate details of George Washington's profile with remarkable clarity. The fields of the coin, the flat areas surrounding the design, are completely smooth and free from any imperfections, a feature that is incredibly rare for a coin of its age and circulation year. The edges are sharp and well-defined, with no signs of wear, and the overall eye appeal of the coin is stunning. These features have contributed to its astronomical valuation, as collectors are always willing to pay a premium for coins in this condition. Now, let's discuss the rarity of the 2022 D Washington quarter. Typically, quarters from modern years are common, and finding one in perfect condition is not considered unusual. However, the specific 2022 D Mint Mark coin we are discussing is exceptional because it is one of a very few known to exist with the combination of perfect strike, flawless condition, and specific minting characteristics that distinguish it from ordinary quarters. The United States Mint produced millions of quarters in 2022, but very few reached the grade and perfection required to become a multi-million-dollar collector's item. In fact, the rarity of this coin is what drives its value. Unlike older coins, whose rarity often comes from limited mintage decades ago, modern coins become rare through their condition and unique features that separate them from the mass of ordinary coins in circulation. The current market value of $4 million reflects the perfect alignment of several factors: extreme rarity, impeccable condition, high demand among collectors, and the historical significance of the coin as part of the Washington Quarter series. When coins like this appear at auction, they generate intense bidding wars, with collectors, investors, and even museums eager to acquire them. Owning a coin of this caliber is not just about the monetary value, it is about possessing a piece of history, a tangible artifact that represents the pinnacle of coinage craftsmanship in the modern era. Now, let's talk about why collectors and investors should pay attention to coins like the 2022 D Washington Quarter. Coins have long been regarded as both a hobby and a serious investment. Unlike stocks or bonds, which can fluctuate dramatically in value due to market conditions, rare coins are physical assets that often appreciate steadily over time. Their value is determined by scarcity, condition, historical importance, and market demand. Modern coins with unique characteristics, such as mint errors, limited production, or exceptional quality, have proven to be particularly valuable. The 2022 D Washington Quarter exemplifies this perfectly. Collectors often examine coins for specific grading characteristics, such as strike, luster, surface quality, and eye appeal. The most prestigious grading system in the United States is provided by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These organizations evaluate coins using rigorous standards, assigning grades that can significantly influence the coin's market value. The 2022 D. Washington quarter in question has received top-tier grading, indicating it is essentially perfect. This grading confirms to potential buyers and investors that they are acquiring a coin of exceptional quality and rarity, justifying its staggering $4 million value. Let's also explore some of the unique features that distinguish this coin from other quarters minted in 2022. One of the most notable aspects is the strike quality. The coin has been struck with extraordinary precision, capturing even the finest details of George Washington's hair, facial features, and clothing folds. The surface of the coin exhibits a deep, reflective luster, which enhances the contrast between the raised design and the smooth background. Such features are highly sought after by collectors because they highlight the artistic and technical skill involved in coin production. Additionally, this coin has perfectly centered design elements, meaning the image and text are aligned flawlessly, which is not always the case in mass-produced coins. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is its provenance. Provenance refers to the documented history of a coin's ownership and authenticity. Coins with well-documented provenance, especially those that have passed through reputable collections or auction houses, often command higher prices. The 2022 D. Washington quarter has a verified history, further solidifying its status as a premium collectible. Potential buyers can be confident that they are acquiring a genuine, authenticated coin with an established pedigree. Collectors also consider the numismatic significance of a coin. While modern quarters are not usually considered as historically significant as older coins, certain features, mint marks, and errors can elevate a coin to historic status. The 2022 D. Washington quarter represents a convergence of modern minting excellence and extraordinary rarity, making it a standout example of contemporary numismatics. It is rare for a coin minted in the 21st century to reach multi-million-dollar valuations, but this coin has defied expectations and set a new benchmark for what modern coins can achieve. Now, let's address why some coins appreciate in value so dramatically over time. One major factor is collector demand. As numismatics continues to grow in popularity, more people are seeking rare and exceptional coins to add to their collections. High-quality coins like the 2022 D. Washington quarter attract attention from experienced collectors, investors, and institutions alike. Another factor is scarcity. When a coin is rare, whether due to limited production, minting errors, or exceptional condition, its value increases exponentially because fewer examples exist for buyers to acquire.